around me. I swear that everything will be just fine. Grown man in my suit and tie. Just stuff like that. It's a very fun song. It's like it's one of them songs that make you feel warm on the inside. All the NCAA is an agreed upon set of rules that everybody is choosing to follow. So if enough people choose to not follow that, what power does the NCAA have? I've made this thing to HBCUs, and I told them, what is there's no reason HBCUs should be in the NCAA. The money that you benefit in the shared revenue is minuscule, and you don't have the opportunity to negotiate your own separate contracts. If you pull it out of the NCAA, you can literally go and attack all the advertisers the NCAA has, and now HBCUs can make their own conference. The HBCU national championship means more to HBCUs than people feel like a FCS national championship. Only one has won one, and that's FAMU, and that was in '79, if I believe. Most of the schools can't afford the travel that comes with the FCS playoffs. You have to go to the home team, and then you're never getting the consideration. That's why they have the Heritage Bowl. Women's lacrosse is a little bit less physical. Okay. Can't hit, but
it's playing that they can't hit you, but we laugh.
It's kind of sucks. Jacksonville used to have a lingerie football league.
It got like 10 whole minutes.
I used to see those on TV.
I trained the lingerie football league too. I did volleyball knee pads. Nothing protecting the thighs open. And when I tell you, them girls hit.
Yeah, boy.
Yeah, I've seen.
You put women in this environment,
yeah,
they are ruthless, bloodthirsty killers.
So for the listeners on audio, that's her?
That's Angie
okay,
there. Angie gets the ball right here.
Boom! Oh my gosh.
Violence.
Oh, that's wild.
Angie did that. When Angie made ESPN, I think somebody's getting her an interview. And then there was one, and they played the Atlanta team. And on God, I swear the Atlanta team was a bunch of strippers.
No, these girls are hitting.
Like I'm saying, that's violence.
Kyle Phillips, wide receiver, UCLA. I'm not benching by choice. I'll be benching my pro day March 15th. George Pickens, wide receiver, University of Georgia. I will be benching I'm not benching. I will be benching not by choice. It's by choice.
What's going on, world? It's your boy. Do I need to check? Well, all right. It's your boy, Big Game James _30.
It's one of my favorite songs.
I never meant to a black cookout, but this shit is like
group presented by thehumidor.com. Thehumidor.com is the go-to website for all things tobacco related. Cigars, humidors, like what's behind me, humidifiers, cutters, torches. Everything that you possibly could need, you go there to thehumidor.com, type in sports den at checkout. That really helps me. Like, if you can't do the cheap way by just clicking like and referring your friends to go to the YouTube channels and, subscribing and doing all this other shit, at least go spend money on your cigars. I need your vices to be taken care of by me. Miles, when you put them things up there, until I get a glasses contract, I ain't gonna be able to read that shit. So if it's something good, just read it off. Just letting y'all know. I do want y'all to post in the comments, in particular on the rewatches. But like live, I can't see shit. Like I can't see past. I see right now. I'm looking at the screen with my face, and I see when people comment, but I can't see shit. Like I can just see like I know something's on the screen. I just don't know what it says. Like, if you want to know, like, one of the funniest things is people are talking about how athletes need to be tested more rigorously because of the stuff that happened with oh, not Ken Hamlin. Ken Hamlin is good and alive. He's in former, actually funny. Ken Hamlin's a DB too. Played for Arkansas, played for the Dallas Cowboys. Cigar aficionado. But was it DeMar Hamlin? DeMar Hamlin, I think is his name. You know, after what happened to him, I was like, y'all don't realize they do pretty fucking rigorous tests on us. But some of us know how to get around it. The eye test is one of the best things that they do. I sat there for all my career and said, what line do I have to read in order to pass this test? And it would show me, and I would read that, and I'm like, I'm not trying to do anything more. I know I can't see. I know I'm blind. I can see past my hand. That's about it. But anyway, so thehumidor.com, if you go and you type that in, that helps me make more money so that I can afford glasses, that I can afford other stuff. So support them. Inside the world's greatest cigar lounge, Goodfellas Cigar Lounge. It's like Cheers with a mob twist. Everybody knows your name. We got some big things happening for 2023. We've been open for a year. I'm in charge of getting the cigars back on point. We got Sunday brunches. We got a Thursday night. Basically, every night is jumping. I'm going to tell you this. This is the cheat code. Fellas, you got an old lady. You want to do something snazzy in Jacksonville. You don't want to get shot, but you want to feel like, hey, this is a place where you could throw on a suit and she could throw on a dress and you could come here and party and live your best life. She's going to think you're that dude. It's also a place where you can wear sweats. I've worn both, never felt out of place. Make sure you come check us out. They bring you big games BS as well as a lot of other stuff. So in 2023, if you want to help me out, you want to support your boy, one of the things that I need you guys to do is, again, like I said, I need my subs to go up. Right now, we're at 1474, I think, with YouTube subscriptions. I need us to get to, I would love to get to 1,500 by the end of the week. Would love to get to 2,000. Faster than that. Facebook, Twitter is all cool. SoundCloud is all cool when you consume them these ways. But I would prefer that you guys go check me out with those. Would love to get my personal page up to over 1,000 subs. We'll start releasing better content, different content. Got the Super Bowl coming up here in February, got the Combine. So once we learn, especially once we can get a lot of this stuff on the go, and I learned how to become a little bit better with a camera, we're going to have a lot more things in place for you guys to be able to consume content from Den Media Group, Sporadics, and any of our other affiliates that are associated with it. So again, I appreciate each and every one of you guys for the support. Please share, tell a friend to tell a friend. And I'm willing to do giveaways. $200 once we get to 2,000 subscriptions. I'm all for it, man. But not to bury the lead or wait too long. We didn't have a show yesterday, but that doesn't mean that something big did not happen on Monday. The national championship, the culmination of one of our favorite sports, came to a decided, marked, and very quick end. Georgia Bulldogs are back-to-back national champions. They defeated Texas Christian University, which basically did not give the best showing for all Christians and for the state of Texas. They got their asses whooped. I have never seen such a thorough ass whooping as what I saw. We also learned a lot. We learned that Kirby is an elite maniacal liar in a good way. I personally only want Kirby Smart to be a football coach. I don't want him to be a politician. But we'll go ahead and keep that up there, Miles. We'll go ahead and click on that link right there. We'll start off with the lies that were told by those who got their asses whipped. I don't even know which link was that, so I can not the one with the TCU player. That's the way you got showing right now, right? Yeah. And what sport? CBS Sports. Yeah. 247 Sports. Okay. TCU's D. Winter says Georgia didn't do anything special. They lost 65-7. They didn't have to do anything special. You couldn't see the right. It's kind of like when Kevin Steele said that Florida State kept running the counter over and over again. Bitch, you couldn't stop it. So that's why we kept running it. It's called circle the duck. Georgia looked like Georgia is what I don't want to say MAGA because that puts a bad frame of reference. Georgia is what racist people look for in the purity of football. And what I mean by that is I have never seen since before desegregation so many cold-ass pilgrims on one football field beat the living fuck out of everybody. McHonky, Bowers, and the greatest insurance salesman of all time for State Farm, Stetson Bennett, literally put on a clinic. If we talk about representation matters in African-American culture, well, goddamn it, if you're a white wide receiver, McConkey is who you want. It's who you want your kid to be. That motherfucker was out that bitch whooping ass. Like it used to be a time when I'm sorry, people can say the most loving place in the world is the locker room. The most racist and bigoted world is also the locker room. It's crazy how all of it it makes sense. You got to be in it for it to make sense. My position coach, I always tell this story. Billy Sexton, old white man. Actually, I need to check on Billy. He had a stroke. He's recovering here. I hope he's doing good. We had a white running back come in, Pat Davis from out of St. Thomas Aquinas. He used to call him P. Diddy. Good kid, good guy. Love Pat. Actually wasn't a bad running back. Just he walked into our meeting room in the spring because they had the walk-ons come in. And Coach Sexton said, son, I think you got the wrong room. It's a white man talking to another white man. He says, no, sir, I'm a running back. He said, a white running back? I haven't seen you since the Betamax, son. I didn't even know what the fuck a Betamax was. But I had to realize, did you realize that before VHS tapes, there was a competition called Betamax, and everybody thought Betamax was going to be the VHS tape. It's kind of like Blu-ray and DVD, or what was it? It was a CD, Laserdisc DVD before DVD. It's like all those competitions, but Betamax came out in the 80s. That was crazy. Mickey Andrews told my roommate Kyler Hall that you should be lucky and grateful that I recruited you on my defense, as I don't recruit white football players. I only recruit black players. So an old white man from Alabama telling a white kid this. It's just, again. So when you see guys like McConkey or McConkey, what is his name? Is it McConkey or McConkey? It's got to be close to. Bottom line, fuck it. His name is McConkey. That's his name. Like motherfucker play like that motherfucker bad. That's a bad. That is again cap. That's a cold ass pilgrim. Stetson Bennett, I don't know what people have been talking about you, man. You got my respect. I am mad that you did not win the Heisman Trophy. I think this is going to be the greatest Disney movie of all time. Let me tell you, the script can't write itself, right? For Podunk, Georgia, decides that he wants to play for the University of Georgia. Could have went other places, but he was a 3-star. He walks on to the University of Georgia with Kirby Smart. Kirby tells him, you're not good enough. Flee. He flees. He goes to a junior college. Comes back to the University of Georgia on scholarship. It's like the 4th-string quarterback. Then you got Justin Fields leaves. Georgia's favorite son leaves. He ends up having to get transfer out. Another kid was in front of you, ended up having to have brain surgery or something. Like the odds of him being the starter at the University of Georgia were slim and none. He gets on there. Every year they're bringing in somebody else who's better. He takes the starting job and he never relinquishes it. He is the epitome of average. He looks average. He's not the most handsome man. He doesn't have a strong arm. He's not tall. He's none of these things. He is Rudy. Like Georgia is like to go and win back-to-back national championships. In the last game, he was running all over the place. We thought he wasn't athletic. All of a sudden, Georgia figures out a way to make him athletic. The motherfucker is cold. But elite lies is what it takes to become a winner in life. Elite lies is not doing what the TCU guy did. TCU guy, all you're doing is delaying the inevitable. Like, and trying to explain away the ass whooping, and that doesn't ever help. Doesn't make the hurt go away. You can never explain away the ass whooping. We saw that ass whooping live in 4K. Some of us on 85-inch screen TVs, and it was bad. It was really, really bad. It made a lot of people upset that this was the way a really good college football season ended. But larger than that, Kirby Smart is maniacal. Miles, go click on some of these videos. I'm going to show you which one I want. Kirby has his entire team bought into a lie that not a person with any iota of common sense would say about Georgia and hasn't said about Georgia since Kirby Smart took over the program. He's got guys with it. Nothing's worse than the guy with the chip on his shoulder. Actually, play this first because this is good. Like, and this shows you the culture and that these guys are bought in to everything that Kirby is saying. And I want to make sure I can hear it too, Miles. That they're bought into everything that Kirby is saying, even if it's elite lies. We're gonna play this here in a second, but you can I'll get it in late. It's fine. Is it playing? Oh, okay, my bad. Oh, okay.
Programs in college football.
But, you know, again, he told that lie right there. But that's not even the most egregious lie. Dog, some of these egregious lies are, damn, I got this one I'm missing. Let me see if I can play it. Push pause on that, Miles. Oh, no, this is what the guy says. Damn, I need to send this to you, Miles. This young man right here, you thought we were going to be 6-6, 5-7. Not one person in America has said that about Georgia. You don't have that many number one recruiting class, top 5 recruiting classes, and finish that in that position unless your name is Jimbo Fisher.
Were you talking about this audio here?
No, that audio is legit. Actually, you know what? Fuck it. Play that audio when you get it up here. This is Kirby pregame right here, and this is when if I'd have heard this in the beginning, I'd have known the ass whooping was imminent. But go ahead and push that one right there because them boys was whoo.
Your ass is prepared for this shit for fucking 365 days. I think about them fuckers in that locker room. Think about getting our opportunity. All the shit you went through this week to get ready for this game, now is when you pay the fucking price. You go out there with energy, enthusiasm. Hey, now, ain't nobody in this room should be cautious. Ain't nobody in this room should be nervous about shit. Go out here and fuck their ass up. Don't think about scoreboard. Don't think about shit. You think about knocking the shit out of them. Did you hear what Fox said on Monday? When I sat in that fucking meeting, I wanted to go fucking play right then. Tore your shit up out here. 2 years ago, fuck your shit up. Goddamn pride and joy tells me you fuck these guys up. You go play the right way. You play the right way. You knock their ass off. You stay off the fucking ground. You tackle the fucking man with a ball. The shit's easy. Look at the right shit. Punish their ass on offense and kick their ass on special teams, guys. It's about who the fuck we are. I believe in you. Let's go.
Yo, man, let me tell y'all about Kirby. Man, Kirby is a fucking maniacal, man. I love Kirby, man. Yeah, but I've always people forget, I fucks with Kirby. Kirby was a GA in 02 at Florida State. Now, back in the day, GAs was piss-ons, man. Them was the guy, student assistants and shit. I learned a long time ago, be careful who you fuck over because, goddamn it. Nah, but real talk, because who would have thought, so this is 20 years ago, guys. 20 years ago this season, Kirby Smart was a GA for Mickey Andrews at Florida State University under Bobby Bowden. Now he is at the pinnacle of college football. Who would have thought during that time that this could happen? I mean, I could see it. He's a phenomenal student of the game, a great coach, awesome motivator. But at the same time, like, he was a GA. He was a nobody at that point. But you can't.
D'Angelo's ready to run through a wall right now after hearing that.
And I'm like, you hear that kind of stuff, and what's crazy about it is, and what's great about it, not crazy, what's great about it is Kirby is strategic with it. That's not him 24/7. Anybody who yells at me all the time, it loses its effect. Like, Bobby Biden cussed 3 times in my entire 4 years. You know why I remember him? Because Bobby doesn't cuss. I actually felt like I offended Jesus when I heard him curse. It was so terrifying that I thought rapture was about to happen. But it's because he didn't curse all the time. It's because he didn't raise his voice all the time that when he did it, it was memorable and it cut. Now, there was times when, everybody else was intense, but to have your coach be like this fired up and intense, it's contagious. I actually had a boy, Dante Hill, wrote a book called Contagious Leadership. It's a really good book. He just didn't need to write it because he hadn't done anything. You ever see these motivational speakers that motivate, but they ain't never did nothing to be like motivational? Like, the only motivational concept they have is to motivate other people to do shit, but they haven't done anything in their life to make them motivational. I don't know if anybody caught that or if that makes any sense, but okay, like, for example, people tell me, James, when I'm speaking to people, I should motivate. I should be a motivational speaker. Well, I can tell you, as a guy who was a really, really good prep prospect, didn't do what he was supposed to do in school, needed to go walk on to a school, earned his scholarship, went from being a walk-on to being a 3-year starter, played for one of the greatest coaches of all time, got a chance to get some coffee and beignets in New Orleans, started his own sports performance training studio, which ended up being really, really successful, put over 1,000 kids into Division I programs across sports. Now to start doing a podunk, raggedy ass Saturday morning talk show when nobody listens to going 5 days a week, to where now everywhere you walk, people say, God damn, I really wish that 1010 still had you guys on. It's like, I could tell you about working hard, grinding, and doing shit, and you'd be like, damn, you should motivate. But when somebody else, the only thing they've ever done to be a motivational speaker is write a book about being motivational, bitch, why you ain't motivate yourself to be something in life? Now I get it. I give some of the best advice to people that I don't take myself. I can show you how to make it. I've created so many really good business plans for people on a sheet of paper, on a napkin. One of them, my boy Jay Phelan, we did it on a napkin. But at the end of the day, it's like, I could go with Kirby because Kirby's story is motivational. Like, it's there. He's played it at a high level. He's won. And the crazy thing is, he's a Georgia Bulldog through and through. But again, when you have guys saying shit like that, go find the next thing, Miles. It makes me understand why such elite lies are bought, because his team is when people talk about buy-in, the buy-in that his team has is unprecedented. It doesn't make any sense how bought in some of these guys are. Now, that's actually what it looked like. That's what the game looked like. We can show that too. But yeah, this is funny shit. The internet is undefeated, guys. That's Kirby's speech. This right here, we need to get to that next, because I think that dude, David Pollack, might have just fucked us all up next year. One person I don't ever want to disrespect is Nick Saban. I need that to play too, because that's what I was wondering. It's a lot of good shit on this internet. No, that was the same thing.
There was the chicken thing.
It's a player. It's one of the players that it's probably one of the lower ones. That's the epitome of disrespect. Like, it's a lot of shit that just happened in this game that we have to unpack, people. Like, go ahead and put this up here.
Yeah.
So people asked me, James, what was more disrespectful? The 2013 national championship run, where FSU players were playing hangman. They were beating the fuck out of Maryland so bad, and Maryland was like a top 10 team at the time, that the guys were on the sideline playing hangman. To eat snacks during a game is probably way more disrespectful than anything that they can do. Like, this is just top tier disrespect to just be out here eating chicken wings, snacking on them. And like, you know, the only thing that would have been more disrespectful is somebody would have dipped it in ranch. But they were out that motherfucker whooping ass. Like, and then, but this is what they look like, the game. If you didn't watch the game, watch this clip. This clip is basically what the national championship looked like. Overgrown children bullying the fuck out of everybody else. Like, my man just stiff-armed the kid into the ground, flung the guy into the... It's just like... The ass whippings was just... It did make me go... Now, pull up the Thugnificent clip, Miles. It did make me think about, you know, this clip right here from one of my favorite shows, The Boondocks. And watching this game, and if you listen to what Kirby said, the first thing that comes to your mind is this. This is the only thing that could have come to your mind, even if you were a white person. You had the freedom to say this in your head at this moment.
And I started thinking to myself, man, what did he do to make them niggas that mad?
And that's all you can think about. Like, it was some aggression. They were whooping ass, but like, again, we gotta find these elite lies. Right there, right here, right there. There it is, Miles. So I want y'all to listen to this college-educated young man. This is the amount of brainwashing that Kirby... This isn't buying in. This is brainwashing. And I'm okay with it. Kirby has the entire team brain fucking washed. Go ahead and push play on that.
Nolan, you told me this week that you were going to be this team's biggest cheerleader, and you have been. You cheered them through 4 quarters of incredible football. What were you most proud of tonight?
Man, we played our game tonight, and it showed. You know, we haven't played perfect all year. We had ebbs and flows throughout our season, but tonight was our perfect game. That was our connection game. We was cheering for everybody, and we was just playing for more than ourselves. We was playing for the G, and I just love all these guys, man.
This was a perfect season and a team that was doubted in the beginning of the year. Was this an exclamation mark on such a special year?
That's all I got to say. They thought we was going to go 7-5. We end up perfect. I could talk trash now.
Who? Fuck this bitch. I'm sorry, guys. Don't call me a sexist, but this bitch right here started this shit. This blonde fucking bimbo. I kid you not. Did she just say people doubted Georgia? Who the fuck are these people?
I believed in him from the foundation that was set.
Who doubted Georgia? They were the defending fucking national champions. We all said that their defense, while they lost a lot, they might be better. I have never heard anybody. I have yet to find somebody say that. Matter of fact, nobody. Like, Kirby is on Nick Saban level right now. Nobody fucking doubts you. It is the most fictional shit that I've ever heard in my life. This motherfucker is on some, was it Khao Sang Kum? Who's the motherfucker from North Korea? Kim Jong-un. He's on some Kim Jong-un manipulation, buy-in. Like, there's no way they have the internet in their football-only facility. There's no way they have internet TV coverage, or it is literally only what Kirby Smart wants them to watch. There's no way they watch ESPN and believe that people doubted them. I got this one right here. I don't have time to send it to you, Miles. I'm gonna play it right here. Y'all gonna hear this. This is another big ass. I don't want to say they're dumb because they're good. They're young and impressionable dumbasses. This is what this motherfucker had nerve to fix his lips.
Y'all thought we were gonna be 6-6, 5-7.
Who are these people? Who in the fuck is who are these people that were saying George is going to be 6-6, 5-7? Nobody questioned you even winning. Nobody said Florida's going to beat who to be that. That means we would have had to believe Florida, South Carolina, Tennessee, and Kentucky were going to beat you. Nobody believed that. Now LSU can say this. Florida State can say this. Other schools can say this. You don't get to say that, Curbs and crew. This is dangerous. Dead to fuck serious. If Kirby could get people to believe this, imagine what Kirby could do if he was the president of the United States.
What article did he show?
I don't know.
Hey, look, they're predicting.
I know what he did. I know what he did with these AI and these voice things. This mother it was the deep state, deep fake. This motherfucker went in and had Brian Gumble and had somebody, Morgan Freeman, had all these different people saying, the Georgia Bulldogs are not going to be any good this year. This is going to be the year that the Georgia Bulldogs are going to get their asses kicked. They're going to be 8-5. No, I kid you not. They're going to be 5-7 this year. Like, nobody believed that shit. People have been penciling them. God.
Quiet Obama.
It's like that's it. They put that on Obama. Man, I tell you. And you can ask Michelle. I was talking to Malaya. Whatever her name is. I was Kirby got these boys voting Republican because he got the liberal. He thinks it's the goddamn liberals. We're red. So the liberals hate us. They want anybody. TCU is purple. Purple's close to blue. The entire nation is liberal. All the Biden supporters. They want us to lose because Herschel Walker was Trump's homeboy. And Herschel won the first national championship for the University of Georgia. You got to go out there and prove them men wrong. You got to go whoop the liberals' ass. Curb, I love you. I love you. Boy, this is some elite full of shit. This is some elite shigadry. All right. Okay. Well, I don't even know how. Anyways, enough of that. Bottom line is 65-7 ass whooping should have been. Oh, my bad. Now play this. This is the only thing that has me afraid right now. Is David Pollock went up in here and woke in the sleeping giant. Nobody was asking. This man was eating his oatmeal pies. He's supposed to be taking his nap, drinking his prune juice. They got his old ass up there as a commentator watching his protege. And then David Pollock would go and say this dumb shit.
Georgia, obviously, you've seen in the past couple seasons now, really, that they've taken hold of college football.
You see that face? I don't know why we keep trying new ways. This man. All right, so there's only in the Nick Saban story, there is one man that I believe one actor that can play Nick Saban and really get all the emotions out of him. And probably he'll overact because that's what he does. But he's so good that overacting doesn't even bother you. Al Pacino has to play Nick Saban. And the reason why I say Al Pacino has played Nick Saban before, there's a movie called oh man, damn, the devil shit. What's the movie he played the devil? It was a lie. I was about to say, nah, it was Keanu Reeves.
Keanu Reeves, that's right.
The Devil's Advocate. He played Nick Saban in The Devil's Advocate. And I would just want him to, like, there's a quote about winning. We don't have to rewrite this now. We can just take scenes from The Devil's Advocate and so Devil's Advocate and Any Given Sunday. Just combine those two movies and we have Nick Saban, the Nick Saban story. Because what you just did was you saw the evil in Nick Saban's face right there. It wasn't the evil. See, when people say evil, we think of like, pure, like unadult, like killing babies and putting puppies and shit like that. That's not evil. That's like the fringes of evil. Most evil is subtle, but you can see on that man's face right there the amount of ass whippery, the amount of evil that he is ready to accomplish in order to do what is necessary to win. He is ready to do some elite level cheating. And every time we have challenged Nick, Nick has said the same thing. Are you sure that this is the way you want the game to be played? I have never heard anybody say that. Are you sure this is what you want to do? Like, anytime people say that, like, most people are like, man, yeah, I'm confident. This is what the fuck Are you sure? Because if this is what you want to do, then we're going to do it. Like, this man is strategic about everything. This man is probably, I don't know what's in his wheelhouse, but he's going to figure it out. Because Saban is the devil.
Yo,
This
that
man's
man. Tried. I was so nervous.
it's almost like because Saban's not a big man, right? But it's kind of like the guy who used to run the National Guard, first black general in the Florida National Guard, General Calhoun. General Calhoun's maybe 5'3". But when I tell you he is 7'5", when he walks into a room, that motherfucker has command presence. Like, you know he's there. I'll keep typing in Al Pacino when I want to type in Nick Saban. I'm trying to figure out Nick Saban's height. I think he's like 5'7". He's 5'6". Nick is not a very tall man. David Pollock is 6'3", probably 245 right now I played against him. All-American defensive end from the University of Georgia. Very good player. Tragic neck injury is what stopped him from playing in the NFL. Nick wanted to split his shit right then. And Nick said what a quote that I want to embody, and I can never say it the same way that my grandmama Isla can say it. I can show you an ass way better than I can tell you about one. That's that face that Nick made right there. I can show you an ass way better than I can tell you about one. And good night. But he tried the fuck out of Nicholas. Well, speaking of trying to fuck out of Nicholas, a lot of people are right now, but Florida State is going to try to fuck out of Nicholas, and we're coming for that shit, SEC. We making waves. Miguel Blanco, White Mike as we call him, out this motherfucker out here hiring the fuck out of a staff. Marcus Woodson went to go be the co-DC of the Arkansas Razorbacks. So we bring in Pat Surtain. Pat Surtain, one of the best corners to ever play the game. Former Miami Dolphin. I think it was former Miami Dolphin. So let me go ahead. I'm gonna run down this right here. Played 11 years in the National Football League. Played for Southern Miss, so he got his roots in Mississippi. Selected by the Miami Dolphins in the 1998 draft. Also played for the Kansas City Chiefs. He is now the current secondary coach for Florida State University. From New Orleans, Louisiana, Edna Carr. Was the head coach of American Heritage down south. This man has put it together on the field. He was a first-team All-Pro, 2002, second-team All-Pro, 2003, three straight Pro Bowls, 2002 to 2004. Was a Conference USA Defensive Player of the Year in 1997. This man's done it on every level. And now we got rivals in an uproar. I love it's almost, I wish I had this South Park meme where Cartman was licking the kids' tears, talking about it was refreshing. Love nothing more than rivals' tears. At all kinds of weather. Nightmare. In response to the Pete Thamel tweet, Florida State is set to hire Patrick Surtain as the school's new secondary coach. He spent last year as a defensive assistant for the Miami Dolphins. My boy CJ Wilson is in his bag with his memes. Basically everybody talked about how Florida State was behind and wasn't going to be able to get the recruits, but basically this is what Mike Norvell basically Patrick Surtain, excuse me. This is Patrick Surtain to everybody on the recruiting trail, everybody trying to be buttoned up, trying to do this kind of stuff. The show The Wire is one of the greatest quotables of all time. But this is just what Pat is basically telling the world.
Yeah, I ain't no suit-wearing businessman like you. You know, I'm just a gangster, I suppose. And I want my corners.
You hear what he said? What does he want?
Yeah, I ain't no suit-wearing.
He's a gangster. I want my corners.
Suit-wearing businessman like you. You know, I'm just a gangster, I suppose. And I want my corners.
He won his corners. He's coming out here for everybody. Makes a kid like Kamani McLean, who committed to University of Miami, has not committed because they won't give DeMarcus Van Dyke a cornerback's job. He has a relationship with this kid. He's got a relationship with a lot of the top guys down there in South Florida. The recruits and the bitches is happy. They loving it. They loving it. They loving it. I'm trying to find Damn, Dion already fucking shit up. This is wild. My bad. This is Brandon Marcello. The Pac-12 working to finalize Colorado versus Arizona State football for Week 0 in 2023. The source says in an interesting development, the plan for Week 0 game between Colorado and Arizona State has been nixed after Deion Sanders leaked it to Kirk Herbstreit on ESPN. Yeah, this is crazy. You already fucking up the bread. See what I told y'all, motherfuckers, that he ain't gonna last. Talks way too much. Hold on, I'm trying to find these quotes from the Jits about before we go full into some other stuff. Damn. Anyways, well, you know what? I don't feel like scrolling through all of this shit. It's just a lot of stuff in one of my group chats. I was gonna steal some 247 shit, but basically I don't really feel like fucking with them. The boys be in their feelings right now. But yeah, long story short, Patrick Surtain's kind of good. Not even gonna get into that. That kind of moves us into what's Florida State looking like for next year. What is the college football season looking like for next year? Now that we got Georgia, who got people believing that, Kirby got cats believing that they're gonna be 5-7 next year or some shit. And now Nick Saban's mad at the world for saying that he's gone. But the final top 25 reads as this. This is the AP. Georgia, TCU, Michigan, Ohio State, Bama, Tennessee, Penn State, Washington, Tulane, Utah, Florida, USC, Clemson, K-State, Oregon, LSU, Oregon State, Notre Dame, Troy, Mississippi State, UCLA, Pittsburgh, South Carolina, or USC Junior, a.k.a. Florida State's feeder school, Fresno State, and then Texas for some reason. I have no idea why Texas is even ranked. Florida State was actually ranked top 10 for the first time in quite some time in the coaches poll, which is dope. The guy who I just read, B. Marcello, actually says that the one who just basically reported that Deion Sanders fucked up a deal, the church's money, ironically, for a guy who portrays a church pastor. I've got Florida State as my team to compete against Georgia next season for the national championship. We coming for that shit, coming for everything, motherfucker. Elite Lies season. I'm printing up some shirts. Elite Lies. I'm booking Charlotte already. My homegirl, Sheena, you live in Charlotte. Sheena, I need some, we need breakfast. We be seeing you cooking on the goddamn, on Twitter and on the TikTok and IG. Me and the crew, we need breakfast. We're going to get a warm up here for the Super Bowl, but, we need some sustenance. A. David Hale joint has been documenting everything with our Lord and Savior, Jordan Travis. How good he's been. I've been a Jordan Travis fan ever since, again, I tell people this. Kenny Dillingham literally made me a Jordan Travis fan. I liked Jordan before, but Kenny literally made me do this. But let's play what Jay Trav talking about. I love this. This is giving me my juices flowing right here. He talking my talk. A lot of y'all little pencil neck ass Florida State beat right. You're the only, you sorry motherfuckers who never accomplished anything in life, have no standards. But these guys who want to win know what standards is about. Go ahead, push what my man's is talking about right now.
I talked to your former offensive coordinator, Kenny Dillingham, yesterday, and I was saying, what has been the key for Jordan and his development? And he said confidence. Confidence was the first word that came to mind, that when he first sat down with you at Florida State, that you weren't so sure if you were a quarterback. You knew you could run. You knew you were an athlete. You didn't know how you'd develop. And he said he really had to work to bring that out in you. When did that change, and how much did he play a role in getting you to where you are right now?
Yeah, Coach Dillingham, he pushed me so hard. I actually remember our first meeting we had.
Actually, that's not even the one. Go to the next one. This is dope. He's giving Kenny in Arizona State. Shout out to my dog. We Tony Tocar right now. Tony Tocar is our guy right now. So What is that? Which one? What is that? Is that say FSU is going to send Jordan?
Yeah.
Yep, that one. Play that one right there.
Yeah.
This is what my man
I
talking
wanted to
about
make a
right here.
statement. I mean, a lot of guys would have took the opportunity to go there and watch the national championship. But at the end of the day, I'm out there with my football team. I can care less about that. I feel like it was important for me to be here just with the guys. I mean, they gave me everything. I play this game for them. I play this game for my family. So just going there and talking about myself and trying to hype myself up is just not the type of person I am. I came here to win a lot of games. This year we got 10 wins. That's what we wanted. But we have higher expectations than that. The standard's higher.
Standard.
So I
is
wanted to be here
fucking
with the boys for sure.
higher.
Yeah. I wanted to make a statement. I mean,
the standard is fucking higher. The standard is the standard, and the standard is over everything. That's why that's what I'm talking about, J Trap. My dog, man. That's why I love that talk, baby. That standard talk, baby. No loser. Ain't no losers around here. Nothing. The only thing that matters is winning the championships. And I will say 2023 is building upon a season to where if you don't win, you don't at least win the ACC. You're not in competition for a college football playoff run, then you have failed to meet the standards. And that's just the reality of the situation. That's me on the inside. If you're looking at that Rick Ross, I'm like, when I hear that standard talk, do that shit for me.
Chris asked where we staying in Charlotte this year.
Y'all saw how I did it for New Orleans. You know, I got to get a suite somewhere. I got to say what happens is downtown Charlotte is so nice. Last time I went to the ACC championship was in 2014 season. When we played Duke, I was there with my boy. I forgot Alex Pelham, Shane Pelham. We were in there. His homeboy had a loft, one of them big ass high rises, penthouses. We were on the top, and it was like cool. You could see the stadium, and the stadium was lit and shit. And you could see all that. So I want to be able to do some badassery, and I want to stunt like my boys are stunting. I'm not to the point, right? I don't want to jinx it. I do want to put money that Florida State has a chance, like, to win. Don't know what the odds are yet, but you know, I'm not finna do like what I did for my boy Take, where I told him I bet $5,000 for us to beat LSU. I'm not there yet, but I'm not like. Did you see what this dude was? A Mattress Mac or something like that? Some dude name, like, he bets big time money on games. He put $5 million on TCU to win.
Whoa.
And my man was sick looking at that ass whooping. But wherever we stand at, Chris, it's going to be great. And you know what we're going to do? We're going to throw a tailgate. I was this close to putting up the tailgate link for the ACC championship in December.
Ramon said he already got his tickets for the next one.
That's it. You better get them tickets for the next one, baby. $40 right now. Man, you better get on in that. You better tell somebody. To quote my boy Telvin, y'all better wake the fuck up. We partying all season. Not just because we're really talented. I'm not even going to hold you. Our schedule does bode very well for us. LSU is tough. Outside of LSU, we don't really have another tough game until Clemson. Like, I'm just being for real. Like we should beat the fuck out of everybody. But I will say this. Florida State right now, somebody put a way too early ranking. They had us ranked the number 3 team in the nation. I don't like that. But here's what I don't believe ranking should be truly held true until week 8, which is when they start doing the college football playoff rankings. And I think that's the only rankings that should matter. According to the AP poll archives, 15 teams that were ranked in the college football preseason top 25 were not ranked in the final poll. That is the most in history, which dates back to 1950 when the AP first published a preseason poll. They aren't ranking these guys based off of wins and losses. They're ranking these guys based off of brand recognition and the things that they like. And that's just not sane. And I want to play this right here, Miles, this thing and I don't agree with this guy. I personally don't like him. He's pretentious. His face bothers me. I don't think he's I think he's going to be very good. I don't know why he is a thing, but he is. And that's Josh Pate. Josh Pate has had some very interesting takes. Him and the guy who doesn't who drinks coffee very funny. I can't think of his name. I don't even want to give him credit, but Josh Pate is a guy who gets thrown down my throat. If you put Alabama, the one about Alabama. But I do, it's the next one under that. I do agree with him on this, though. Let's see if we find it. Yep, yeah. I want to play this because he's saying basically a lot of Alabama fans, a lot of SEC fans are mocking the TCU loss, saying this is why you shouldn't do this. Now, one, nobody thought Michigan was going to lose to TCU. TCU beat Michigan and Georgia lost. Excuse me. Ohio State lost to Georgia. Georgia didn't beat Ohio State. Ohio State's kicker missed the easiest kick in human history to get Georgia into this position. And Ohio State got their asses whooped by Michigan, who lost to TCU. It was just an ass whooping that happened. Nobody can explain it. And what I told somebody before, Alabama has to afford other people the luxury to get their ass whooped by Georgia too. You had your chance to get your ass whooped by Georgia. You lost 2 times. But let's play what Josh has got to say real quick on all this so I could make sure I fully agree with what he says before I put myself out there. But I agree with the premise.
In the playoff should change the criteria for who should have made the playoff. So this year, you got Georgia in there. You got Michigan in there. You had TCU. You had Ohio State. That's your 1 through 4. You look at their resumes. You look at their bodies of work. You don't acknowledge what a point spread says would happen because we just played 12 or in some cases 13 games that showed us what did happen. Everyone had plenty of opportunity to pad and build their resume, and we got what we got. If you're seriously of the belief that Alabama should have been in because odds makers say they wouldn't have been a 2-touchdown underdog against Georgia, they wouldn't have lost that badly against Georgia. Well, I'm going to ask you this. Is that really the road you want to go down? Do you really believe that's how competition works? Do you really think the committee kept Alabama out instead of Bama keeping Bama out? Because if you believe that, how about this? Toss another Alabama loss in there. Have them be 9-3. What if I told you, ESPN 30 for 30 style, what if I told you a 3-loss Bama still wouldn't drop below number 4 in the odds makers' eyes? There still
is that sound
that would be favored over 3-loss Alabama in the odds making community. So what do we do there? Do we just let teams because of the skill level of their roster, which is heavily baked into odds making, by the way? Do we just let underachieving, ultra talented teams in based off a default that we care about what odds makers say more than what actually happens on a football field? And then if that's your answer, I ask you, do you think this right here is a piece of paper? You hear it there on the podcast?
All right, let's push pause. Somebody's saying that they couldn't hear the sound on that. But I don't know. But anyways, basically what Pate's saying is win your fucking games. Eat what's on your plate. Stop worrying about everything else. Alabama lost to a few teams that I don't think would have a chance to beat the University of Georgia. Because if we're looking at, the fact remains is that Georgia beat the fuck out of everybody, right? And you're saying that TCU would have stood a chance. I mean, Alabama would have stood a better chance than TCU. But if I remember correctly, LSU went 10-3, and LSU beat Alabama 32-31. Okay, that was one. You know who one of LSU's 3 losses were to? Florida State. I don't think Florida State could beat Georgia this year. We've seen Tennessee can't beat Georgia this year. Who else did LSU lose to? Well, LSU lost to Georgia too, by the way. My bad. Forgot about that. Yeah. So, try again. Try again on that one. If we're trying to use like opponents to dictate which ass whooping would have been lesser. I mean, the reality of the situation is just eat what's on your plate and you don't have anything to worry about. But I think Alabama has been so used to the world being catered to them that, I mean, like, just think about it like this. You beat Texas 20-19. And Texas lost to TCU. Isn't that interesting? Stop crying and complaining and eat what's on your plate. Lastly, in all of this, how much time we got, Miles? Sweet. All right. Lastly, and this will be my hater clock. This clock brought to you by Green Acre Sporting Goods. Green Acre Sporting Goods, the go-to outdoors website for everything: guns, bows and arrows, safes. I'm going to do a class probably in 2 weeks. We're going to do a gun safety class. Basically, so everybody, because I think everybody in 2020, I want 100 people to be able to sign up to be able to get their concealed carry this year. I want to help be responsible for that. No place better than Green Acre Sporting Goods. Look at our Sports Den, Facebook, Twitter, all that different stuff for the ability to sign up and check that out. It's an hour class in and out. I may even try to get somebody to sponsor it, get us a meal. So you go in there, you make sure you have a sandwich to be able to walk out. You walk out with a gun and a sandwich at the same time. I'm going to go backwards. I'm going to go back to the future. There's a guy named Darren Heitner. Darren Heitner is a sports attorney, accomplished writer, Heitner Legal. He teaches sports law at the University of Florida. And he teaches NIL law at Miami Law School. Sports Agent blog is what he owns. He's an author, How to Play the Game. He's an arbitrator, and he's a father now. He is a 3-time University of Florida graduate, undergrad, master's, and he has his law degree from the University of Florida. April 25th, 2022, he tweeted, "Is FSU falling well behind UF and UM? UF has the Gator Collective and Gator Guard. UM has John Ruiz and Dan Lambert. Where is FSU on the NIL front?" Christy Dosh at Sports Biz Miss, probably the most educated person on all things NIL. They have Rising Spear, and at the time, Micanopy 1851. Now they have Rising Spear, Micanopy 1851, and Battles In. I assume you're just referring to the amount of respective war chests. Darren Heitner tweets, correct. Impact over existence. Then a fullback comes in and responds. We have them. We are making impact. The loudest in the room doesn't mean that they're the baddest. At the end of the day, it's great that so many are interested in student athletes getting paid. It's a marathon and not a sprint. This was back in April. The Gator Collective, or the Gators, landed. They flipped from the University of Miami. Jaden Rashida, who's one of the top quarterbacks in the nation. And it's argued that he has one of the best NIL deals. And the boasting of this is that their NIL was so organized and so together. And the irony is now, do you know who's on the hot seat about why this young man isn't enrolled at the University of Florida? The person who felt the need to stand on the perch, hit their chest, and make the world aware of what their losing ass program is getting ready to go through. There's all kinds of heat. There's talks about kicking him off of the Gator Collective. All kinds of shit because potentially this young man, Jaden Rashida, is not going to enroll at the University of Florida because of discrepancies in his name, image, and likeness deal. And who negotiated it? Darren says he did. Some people say he did. Gator Collective says we're not the reason. Admission says they're not the reason they're Florida. So a lot of things, a lot of pointing back and forth of who did and who did not. But all we know is that the young man is not here. The bell cow of the University of Florida's recruiting class is not here because of discrepancies with money, while the University of Florida has consistently said, y'all boys broke. Smells like y'all boys broke. Blake Alderman inside of the 2-4, I believe this is a 247. In questioning from Lurking Gator. Really hope this doesn't not turn out to be the UF admission department strikes again. Blake says, upon learning that Rashida was not enrolled earlier this week, I reached out to a Florida source who shared that the situation was rooted in admissions hang-up due to the academic calendar on the West Coast. However, as of the last hour, it has become clear that there is smoke into that this issue might be larger. Transparently, I'm not 100% certain of what exactly that is. What's fishy was he didn't sign until late on early signing day. Here we are again, waiting for him to get moved in and enrolled. We'll continue to keep our eyes updated as we learn. Some guy named Jacob's working on the story. Now, y'all ready to hear what big game sources say? Because y'all do know I got better sources at the University of Miami and University of Florida than I have at Florida State. Now, this was placed on my lap National Signing Day, early National Signing Day, that Rashida was potentially flipping to Oregon or flipping back to Miami because of discrepancies in the NIL. We did. He ended up staying. But here's what my source says. Rashida got what he was supposed to get, but in the contract there are two different amounts. One's higher than the other, obviously. The higher number is what they want. Nobody didn't catch it when the deal was negotiated. Right now, everybody's looking out for self. One person's looking out to make sure they crossed all their T's and dotted their I's so that they're not going to get sued on the way out of it. Right now, they're trying to get done, but this is the most dysfunctional athletics has looked ever since they've been at the University of Florida. And now they're going to make serious changes in the NIL. And it's odd because nobody asked you to take that shot. You took that shot in April, and my, how fast the clock turns. You look incompetent. You look ill-equipped. And the bell cow of your class, that a kid who probably could come, your quarterback room is so bad right now that the young man could probably come in and start as a freshman. Unfortunately for him. And he's not even ready to enroll and potentially may not come to your school. What does that say for other cats? You had probably one of the best wide receiver hauls without a guy that can throw him the ball. This is why you don't talk shit. At Brian Deeds tweeted out, because again, you know what's funny too? Miami's top guy ain't signed yet either. Cormani McClain. All the money boys out here bragging about how much bread they got. But they can't sign their top guys. It makes what the CEO of Battles In, Ingram Smith, said. We don't do a lot of tweeting. We just too busy working over here. One thing I know about money is you see money when you see it. You know money when you see it. You ain't got to brag about it. You just got to do it. But Brian Deeds put the Rashida and Cormani stuff going on now is just karma for trolling FSU about the Travis Hunter situation for a full year. Imagine not getting your top two guys after all you did was pick on your rival. And then what's wild is, from everything that we report, the kid was promised one thing and didn't get it. But now everybody's trying to paint the kid as the prima donna and not the adults who put the situation in it. One person even going as far to say, is it indicative of the kid's character for who he's around and who he has representing them? A 17 and 19-year-old is who you're going to hold accountable, not the grown-ass motherfucking penny pinchers coming in here trying to make $1 off of something they ain't had nothing to do with. because you put a couple paragraphs and sentences together. You couldn't even do that right. It's an evil world we live in, is what Future says. It's wild, but it's why I always said the first thing the NIL. When I see older or affluent white males getting overly excited about young colored boys making money, I automatically get skeptical. I still love NIL. I still think NIL is a great thing. But man, the kids ain't fucking it up. Y'all fucking it up because y'all and fucking up a good thing. But some of y'all can fuck up a wet dream. Good NIL though. I want to expose this right here, and this is on Instagram. It's such a dope story, such a dope meme. Years ago, what went viral was a young man at Popeyes, and actually, I think that might be lunch today for me. But he's looking at Popeyes, and he became the Popeyes meme kid. Well, this young man, his name is Dianurst Collin. It's a name for you. He's 6'1", 330 pounds, a lot of Popeyes eating. Freshman from East Orange, New Jersey. Plays offensive line. He is signed to an NIL deal with Popeyes. So Popeyes went back and made right by this young man. I love it. All these different things. And I'm going to end on these last couple things. You never expose what you actually care about. A lot of people ask me, a lot of people have a lot of questions about my personal life that I choose not to let people know, because I'm not going to lie to you. I am very sane and rational. But as I've stressed before, like, you don't play the sport to the level in which I played it and not be slightly touched. And you can say whatever you want to say about me. It doesn't really bother me. Sometimes I get a little sensitive. But most of the time, I'm like, yeah, fuck it, whatever. You ain't cashing my checks and none of that shit right there. But I don't like people fucking with my family. I will fuck you up over my family. Look at, we just talked about the boy that Miami, talking about the boy's mom, trying to prevent the boy from helping out his mom. But one thing I don't do is talk about that. And I've seen people on social media go over the top. Dude might say he might say, I don't like, I think Lizzo's fat. Then they go find a picture of his fucking mom and say, well, your mama fat. And then they go like, what did my mama have? How's my mama catching strays for something I said? And that's what people are doing. And I don't want people to do this, but here's the reason why. You never let people know how they can get you. And a year ago, it's coming on the anniversary of the simpiest shit that I've ever seen in my life. For a bitch who don't deserve it. And yes, I mean bitch. Not that right there, monster neck. Go on, we skipping that. I'm tired of these bitches with BBLs. Like, all y'all die if you're getting that shit. Like, no, man, trust me. As the older, actually, before we even get to that, let's talk about BBLs. I don't know what it's going to look like when 30 years from now, when these bitches get fat. I've seen a chick get liposuction, right? And she's fat again. Like, what is she going to do? Go get liposuction again? You got to change your habits at a certain point, or just be fat. Fat bitches has been getting dick since the beginning of time. I've never heard something like Lizzo. I've said I'm curious of Lizzo. You got to have some confidence. Now, what I will say this is the asses are getting out of control. I'm looking at some of these asses and be like, yo, you know what? Do I have enough dick for all of that? Like, who possesses enough dick to get through all of that? Give me a good, flat, mature ass right now with some good. I have grown to appreciate titties more in my older age. I did not like titties when I was young. I was a young man. I was chasing these video hoes, chasing the ass. But a good set of titties is great. I think that's what, I don't know if it's because of becoming like, what they call it, an Oedipus, something like that. You get more, but I don't know. But the titties is good, man. As the older I get, just give me some good titties. A good set of titties and I'm okay. The ass is great if you have it, but I don't need all, because these asses is getting out of control. But that wasn't what I was going to talk about. What I was getting to is this bitch is built like a fucking boy anyway. And I think the motherfucker's gay. But Williford Smith went out on the most publicized event for all actors in the world and slapped the shit out of a petite male. Muhammad Ali, he played Muhammad Ali in a movie, slapped the shit out of Pookie from New Jack City, a crackhead. Imagine that. Like, and that made news and someone protect black women. No, fuck that bitch. I'm not protecting that bitch. That bitch don't want to be protected. But the thing he said was keep my wife's name out your mouth, your motherfucking mouth. And when he did this, it made the greatest meme material. And everybody, including August Alsina, has kept Jada Smith in their mouth or put themselves in Jada Smith's mouth. But the point is that this is what happened. You were minding your own business. You catch strays like this when you're a simp publicly. Don't be this. Everybody knows what your weakness is, and now they're going to attack it and exploit it. It ain't shit you're going to do about it. This is why I say don't let people know, and nobody would have ever got to this point. Great. I think it was at the Golden Globes. Hilarious time. It shows why Eddie Murphy is still one of the best. And I bet you won't slap him. You've made your wife the butt of everybody's joke. Congratulations. You played yourself. And I don't want to hear that shit. You know, he's battling depression and all this other shit because of what's going on. Because 50 Cent summarized everything to the best of anybody's ability and what I think about as a guy who battles depression from time to time, because I feel like I should be doing more. I have some really accomplished friends that I put a lot of pressure on myself. But then I also remember the first of the month comes around and I got a lot of bills. I got a lot of people I take care of. So this is what real men shit is. And for you women who out here loving and you stupid motherfuckers too, I'll say this. I saw a stupid motherfucker. He always on this simp shit. Talking about somebody posted about nobody being afraid of educated women. And then you already know the men and the women who are going to respond to some of these things. And he goes on these long, he's like 10 texts, 10 tweets and shit. And I'm like, motherfucker smart as shit. But like, but then I always asked him, I was like, you've never been in a relationship. Nobody ever sees the relationships you're in. For such a good guy, that means you ain't shit just like the rest of us. So I tell men, like, people get mad at me for this, but I'm like, oh, you're such a great guy. You know all these things. Why haven't you bent the knee? Oh, because you ain't shit too. You just doing this because this is how you get pussy. But you know,
it's deplorable.
It's deplorable. Like, it's just, to me, it's just as bad as what you're well, whatever. That's just my take on it. You don't have to agree with me. I don't give a shit. But real men take care of their responsibility and they go out here and they get after it. They fight hard. They work hard. And that shit, and it's very, you don't get thanked a lot for it. It's very fucking depressing too when you see you made a bunch of money and it all goes away. But 50 Cent has one of the greatest things, and this is my mentality that I take every day. And people, you know what people hate? They hate fucking 50 too. But you know what they don't? They judge 50 about being a dad. Like, I don't even judge 50 because he does remind me a lot of my father too. And a lot of this thing, his demeanor, cold demeanor. But my dad never gave me $60,000 a year in child support up to like I'm 26 years old and saying he needs more. I need more. Like, bitch, go get a fucking job.
Right.
You're a grown ass man. Like, you're not a child anymore. Like you have all that. You have the aspects to be successful. On top of the fact that he gave his baby mom $500,000 a year. And put himself on child support so that he can make sure she was. And then she went and countersued. And it got it lowered down. People don't want to talk about those. There are really bad people out here, but those are the fringes. For the most part, people aren't bad, and there's more to it. And people want to count. But anyways, 50 talks about why depression isn't real for real people.
I think the things you go through make you who you are. Mm-hmm. And in my journey, like, there's certain things that I'm not really, I don't even let it into my system like that. Like, I think depression is a luxury.
Wow.
Because where I'm from, you can't afford to be depressed. You got to pay the bill, right?
Right.
So you got to go to work. You got to get up. You got to go do what you got to do. You got people right now that's at work don't feel like being there.
Mm-hmm.
But they got responsibilities, so
yes, sir.
They feel uncomfortable while they're working, while they're doing what they got to do. Like, when these guys get in a slump and they just decide that they're not gonna do anything, I'm like, where they do that at?
Right.
Even when you're on the street, you got a pet. You just decide not to come outside.
Yeah.
I mean, like, just My mom used to always say, no matter how bad the day is, brush your teeth and wash your ass. The sun gonna come up no matter what happens. Bills gonna be paid. Like, you got to figure it out, man. And once you figure out, you'll be amazed at your ability to figure it out. You know, that doesn't mean don't take time to realize that something's hard, but at the same time, I think a lot of people just really like want a pity party and woe is me, and that's not going to get shit done. Like, that bill's still going to be there. So
to me, it should teach you empathy, because what he's saying is true. Like, we give all the empathy to the celebrities when they go through depression, but there's people out there who have to work through it, and we treat them like shit every day.
That part.
So just be nicer.
I think that's it. Like, yeah, you know, I always tell, this is why I always joke. I do, like, for people in my circle, I do care. I ain't gonna lie to you. But like, I also don't. It's like a double-edged sword. I care. I want you to be good. But at the same time, like, yo, we got shit to do. Like, like I'm relying on you. Like, that's why I try to put so many of my family and friends in positions. But then I also tell them that this is why I don't rely on people. And it's nothing negative. It's because I also know, like, you know, because when you need, like, you're going to disappear on me. But you know who's not going to disappear on me? Me.
Right.
So, like, yeah, like, well, you got to find more reliable people. Well, if the world was more reliable, we'd be in a utopia. But the thing I do try to do is I do give empathy. But at the end of the day, I also know that nobody cares except for Tupac. He's dead. So just remember, I guess when you need a shoulder to cry on, just always remember, Tupac cares if don't nobody else care. But on that note, man, just again, Florida State got a dope ass DBs coach. That's what we're gonna summarize this with. Nobody believes Georgia is not any good. Like, stop that shit. And now I'm scared for what the 2023 season is gonna hold, because Nick Saban is about to, like, fuck us all up. So on that note, man, appreciate you guys chopping it up with me. Go check out my boy Donnell Butler's website. Do you even read, bro? DY. Let me make sure I'm saying it. DYERB.com. Basically summarizing it. Good things that's going on for the kids too, to help them read. I also a question that I ask myself every day, reacting with some of y'all. Do y'all even read still? And then, considering the American literacy rate is so low, I know the answer, but I just want you guys to think. Don't care what you think. I just want you to think. Appreciate y'all chopping it up with me. Until next time.